Hi, I'm David Haug, Superintendent of the Jefferson R-7 School District. One of the things is we're looking at for this year's 75th celebration of our school district is something called an R-VII Advocate Recognition. Right now, it's just our group of administrative leadership looking at trying to recognize those in our community who have had a great impact on the R-VII district, maybe outside the normal job duties or responsibilities. And quite honestly, we don't know how that award may or recognition may evolve as we move forward, but it's something we wanted to start. So it's really a pleasure for me today to talk about our first one is Barb Jackson. Barb has been a wonderful advocate of the Jefferson R-7 School District, and her sense of history and everything she has done to preserve that history for the R-7 district for many years has been outstanding. Unfortunately, Barb has gotten to a point where her health is an issue, so we were not able to present her the award in person. We were so honored to have Jennifer Lackey accept it the other night on her behalf. But last year I was able to sit down with Barb for a few minutes and do a quick podcast with her, kind of her aspect of this Jefferson R-7 School District. And again, she and I have some commonalities. We're not from the area, but we've moved in, we both love the area, and we really recognize the value here. So she has such a unique perspective. So if you would take about 10 minutes here and really listen to Barb Jackson's words about the Jefferson R-7 School District. I'm David Haug, Superintendent at Jefferson R-7 School District, and it's been my honor to work with the 75th Jubilee as we prepare for that celebration. I'm joined now by Barb Jackson. Barb and I probably have something a little bit in common. We didn't go to R-7. We've kind of moved in the area. I think both of us share a unique appreciation being other places and coming in. So thank you for joining us. I also wanted to thank you. Many of the binders, and I'll call them memory books or scrapbooks, every year, I know the high school secretaries, because I worked over there for so long, would collect all the programs and everything, and she brings them back, and they are impressive. I know there's a couple sitting over here with so many great memories. So we have those, and we will protect those, and I can't imagine the amount of work that goes into those. There's also a side of you that has done the historical breakdown of the district and retyping letters and has done an amazing job. We'll get into that here in a second. But outsider into the district, what makes R-7 special?
Well, I married my husband, Fred Jackson. He grew up here, went to school here all of his life. His mom and dad bought the Platten School, and that's where he lived. And then our kids went to school here. Well, I tried to be involved with that and everything, and they did exceptional when they were school here. And then they went on to Crystal City, and they did very good at Crystal City.
They were what? Valedictorian?
Well, yes, okay. They were both valedictorians, 1986 and 1988.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, and made me very proud of them. And I look back, and I thank R-7 for instilling in them what they learned. I mean, they loved science. John Boyd was their science teacher. He was awesome. And their math, and they were involved in a lot of stuff. Well, of course, I was involved, backing them up and everything. But you just learn to get an appreciation for that kind of stuff. And it's a family-oriented school. Everybody's together and doing things together. And then in 1986, I decided to become a bus driver. So I started driving for R-7. And I don't remember what happened. But for some reason, I was in the library here at the Danby building, and I noticed that they had some old books, scrapbooks in the library, and they were not in too good a shape. So I decided I want to redo those. And they were very nice. They let me take them home, and I started working on them, and I started redoing them. I redid all the scrapbooks down at Platten. And the next thing I knew, I got a telephone call from one of the girls in the office. I think it was Barb Burnside. And she said, "We're cleaning out the closet, and we have found a lot of stuff." She said, "Would you be interested in organizing it?" I said, "Sure, I'd love it." So that's how it all started. I took all those boxes home, started going through them, organizing them, putting them in binders, and there's still a lot of memories that, it'd be nice to have out there, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I know part of your research has brought you to a point where you've kind of nailed down, so 2024-25 is our 75th Jubilee.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of explain where you went back to. I know you provided some documents this morning, that initial decision, and you had found some document related to a county board of education, which is kind of unique. Can you kind of explain that process and what you found?
I'm not sure what you...
So like when I looked at that document this morning, it actually outlined
about the county?
Yes.
Yes, I went into the library in Festus and went through the old archives of the newspapers, and I come across an article where in April of 1949, the county school district took all the schools in Jefferson County and they broke it down into, they consolidated them, they reorganized them. And so that was interesting to me to see that they had done that. And in our Jefferson R-7, it was Platten School, Danby School, Rush Tire, Telegraph School, and they became reorganized Jefferson R-7. And
I think that's the fascinating part for me. You know, you can still see some of the school buildings here in the district, and when you talk to individuals who went to those, but then to see it kind of in writing, like it wasn't just an R-7 decision, it was actually a countywide decision. There's no more county school board. It's just kind of fascinating. And then the term kind of R-7 came from that moment. And was it 1949, you said?
yes, April of 49.
April of 49. I know there's been some stuff leading up to that, but just tremendous work on that. Anything else about those early years you want to share?
Oh, there was so many interesting articles. Of course, whenever we were reorganized, the big thing was, where are we going to build our new school? And they could not come to any kind of an agreement. Everybody had an opinion, and everybody had a place they wanted to go, and can't remember exactly how it finally narrowed down. They decided to buy the land where the lower building is, Platten School's at. And they bought 10 acres from a lady in St. Louis, and it was next door to Judge Becker's place. But there's articles that tells about that. And then, of course, they had to have their first school board. So there's an article that tells about who run for the first school board, and then it told who made it. There was 2 that did not get on, and the rest of them were on the school board. And I found articles for every year after that where, you know, when they had the election, 2 more got reelected. So I had found quite a bit on the school board members from back then. And
so did they elect all 7 at once, the original board? Did they elect all 7 at once, the original board?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
That's another, I would be fascinated to look at that. That might be a little bit boring for some, but I think that's kind of fascinating
They had several
stuff.
people that run, and then they narrowed it down, and there was 2 of them that didn't make it. In fact, Clyde Jackson was one of them that had run that year.
Wow.
And then my husband's mom, she was one of the head cooks down at the school when it opened. And so there was always a connection in our family that to the school. And it made me want to learn more.
Almost finished. Have you finished one last story about your bus driving? Sometime the creeks went up.
Oh, yeah. I was a substitute driver for 16 years, and one of the routes that we went on, there was a creek down on T Highway, and we always turned around in that creek. I mean,
Wow.
if there wasn't any water, if there was water in it, we had to go all the way out to Charter Church and turn around down there and then come back. Or we couldn't go that way because you couldn't get through there to go to the church. But finally, there was some people that came into the district and they said, "You're not turning that bus around in a creek no more." So that ended. And after that, we had to go all the way to Charter to turn around, except when the water was up. And we had a lot of experiences on the bus, but it was good. I ended up going full time, and I worked a total of 24 years as a bus driver.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We appreciate you doing that too, and not only that, all the hard work you're doing now to kind of bring this history to life. So thank
I
you so much.
enjoy it.
Oh, I can tell. It's hard to tell on the camera, but there's such a sparkle in her eye. And I just love listening to her talk about Jefferson R-7. So thank you.
You're
I look
welcome.
forward to some future
Thank you.
conversations.